podcast about comics. A podcast about comics.
Welcome back to another episode of a podcast about comics. This is your boy Tchallabp74 and my man
Keitanooo.
Back by popular demand. We have another member of the squad. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, thanks for having me back. It's your boy Code Name Comet from the Nerding with Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the Panthers Lair. So today's our first day being on video. We're going to be streaming on YouTube. So you see that button down bottom. Go ahead, hit it. Subscribe. Stay up on top of things with us with all breaking news. Stuff that's released by Marvel, DC, Independent, Dark Horses. Whatever stuff that we're going to be dropping is going to be there. So make sure that you guys hit the button, subscribe. So today we have an interesting episode for you guys. It's called Scarlet.
Witch.
Scarlet.
Witch.
Scarlet.
Witch.
Get ready. Strap on in. Let's ride. So, a few weeks ago, the Wanda Vision trailer dropped. And, Keitanooo, did you get a chance to see it?
Of course.
What about you, Codename Comment? Did you get a
I've
chance?
seen it 4 or 5 times now.
Good. I saw it maybe 20 times. But, you know, it's neither here
Just to
nor
double
there.
up on you others.
Yeah, man, because I saw a lot of things. And usually, like, whenever I see things, Keitanooo be like, man, I ain't seen that.
Hey, first of all, I'm going to let you know. If it is less than 2 minutes long, all I see are flashes. So that's it.
Just
And I'm also not going to watch it 20 times.
Because if you're watching it...
No need.
The way I see it, if you're watching it 20 times... After 10 times, you're putting stuff there. Like, there's no way. You're not
because
creating
listen,
your own stuff.
After like the 15th time, I was still seeing little gems and nuggets.
I know, like that way
Because
that
the
camera
first few
panned
times
over
when
that
you
one
see
time.
you trying to get into it, but then them little things start hitting you, and you're like, hey, wait a minute. Rewind, pause, and you see things. And we're going to go into them things. We're going to explore them things today. So, guys, hope you guys are ready. Let's do this.
You should try watching it 3 times, maybe in slow-mo.
Right.
And that'll save you about 50.
A good 15.
Hey, you
Sorry.
know what, though? But I like to get it like that.
Get it
I
how
don't
you
like
get it,
the
man.
slow-mo,
I'm sorry.
Get it how you
I
live.
don't like slow-mo. But, yeah, so here we go. So, it opens up with like a 1950s kind of theme.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the old 65 Chevy.
Yeah.
With the just married driving down the road, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the sign on the side? Any of you guys? If you go back and you look at it
that's-
again.
See, that's 20 times watching
That's
this
what
right
I'm
there.
talking about right
Because
here.
I didn't even think to look at the sign. You know, I should have watched
the
it one
answer
more.
is no. Okay, no, the answer is no.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
A couple seconds later, you see Vision walks in the door and he looks like, something from like a I Love Lucy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Black and white. He has the newspaper.
Yeah.
He flips the newspaper and it's upside down. What it says on the top, it says Westview, which is the sign that when they're driving in that said just married on the back. The sign over to the side was Westview,
Okay.
which is a fake city. Okay? It's almost like, did you guys see the Jim Carrey movie?
You're saying it's
The
like
Truman
a
Show?
test site
Yes. What was the name? Safe Haven? What was the name of it?
Man, I don't remember. I just remember. I know.
Sea
You're
Haven.
leading
Sea
to.
Haven.
Okay.
Yeah. This Westview city is something like Sea Haven.
Felt like
Okay.
Pleasantville.
Yeah. Okay.
Pleasantville, yeah.
And so it's a fake city. It's not real.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things that you see jumping around. The license plate says 102. Okay?
Okay.
A lot of stuff that Marvel does have little gems and nuggets.
As far as numbers.
Like in Spider-Man, remember they had these little numbers that was floating around from certain episodes with Hydra Man. Okay. Avengers 102 is a story about when Vision got put, the Grim Reaper went to him and said, hey, I want you to do something for me or whatever, and I'll put your soul into Wonder Man. Because all Vision wanted was to be close to Scarlet Witch. That was the love of his life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And literally, Vision is supposed to be dead. He's an android, but he's dead. But Grim Reaper is like, yo, I'll put your body or your soul from here.
Yeah. Okay.
So you clearly see the parallel lines there of where they might be going because it's a nugget from the comics.
Okay.
A lot of people, and it's probably going to go over your head. For the diehard readers out there, I'm sure they know what I'm talking
it's
about.
scraping my forehead right now, so
Like-
I believe it.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
it's
I want
it's
to let
amazing.
you know that your role tonight is to, like, at least 75% of whatever nerdiness he's
Can we
bringing
drop it
tonight.
to 70? I say I got you.
Just
Oh,
$70.
no.
But I was about to give you like $1.15.
I mean,
I'm just
we'll
saying.
say that for
That's
YouTube,
the reason
but
why you're here.
all right, you know what? All right, I'll accept my role. I'll pick up more near today.
Okay.
I'm worthy.
So while you're seeing these different shots in this I Love Lucy kind of thing, you see the stuff is panning out and panning in. Bewitched. Yes. Okay, fine. Like the older version of Bewitched before there was color.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because at one point she does like
Samantha,
that. Yeah.
And he's clearly, I don't remember.
Samantha's husband.
Yeah, Samantha's husband.
Yeah. She does the thing with the wine. Remember?
And she does a lot of stuff with this.
Did you notice anything about the wine?
Now, I did notice something about the wine.
What did you notice?
One, I noticed that bright red or that bright white M that's right on the neck of the wine bottle. But I also noticed just the wording itself, and it's a French word. It's a French phrase that means house of contempt. And
my man,
I did a little research.
Ding, 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 ding,
I did a whole lot of research because Marvel doesn't just lay it out on.
They don't.
This is a 105 for y'all asses right now. Excuse my language. But so contempt could mean three different things.
Okay.
The first one being what was it? Sorry, this is what I need in my notes. But so one thing that contempt means is just the disobeying or disobedience of the law. Okay. So one thing that we're noticing a lot, and what I'm thinking you're going to see in a lot of Wanda Vision is a lot of reality bending type of things. Is Wanda breaking the law or the laws of reality in her own way. Also, with that bright, like that M I mentioned, it's an allusion to the House of M comics, which for all the fans and major mutant nerds out there, this is something we've been possibly waiting on since day one of the X-Men.
Okay. Great point. Did you notice the top of the wine bottle? I'm glad that you did some research because a lot of people miss that. The word is called Maison de Mépris.
Yes, thank you.
House of Contempt. Okay. To the very top of the wine bottle, there's a circle and it has the letter M in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't go the route of House of M with this,
then they just did a bunch of stuff for nothing, and that would be.
You see what I'm saying? And I don't believe they will do that. Originally, they were supposed to have 6 episodes, and now they're having 8, from what I heard. Go ahead.
All right. So when you mentioned the letter M on the neck of the bottle, I thought House of M, but I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to seem like I'm this super nerd, and then you start talking.
Talk your stuff. Listen, man. You have a little bit of nerd in you, and it's okay.
Let it out.
Speak your truth, brother.
Hey, it's not that. It's
safe
just that
place here. Safe
you
place.
tend to act a different way when you think I'm at a certain place.
I get excited. Man. Is it so wrong for me to get excited that
but
my
you get
homeboy
let
is
down
nerding
every
up?
time.
All right, I'm sorry. Honestly, I'm not, but it is what it is. So the lady that we see who's with the gentleman at the table, her name, and there's only time you see that version of her is during that time frame before time tends to merge a little bit, or times warp a little bit, and it gets a little further in the future.
This is the lady.
The very first lady in the black and white.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Clearly, the lady name in this show is called Agnes. Right?
That's clear.
Clear.
Very clear.
But
very clear. If you also
the character
captions.
Oh, real question. That's clear for
everyone who watched the video with the captions.
Okay.
Now check this out.
All right.
The antagonist of the show.
I did. Because I feel like when you do that, it kind of gives you that little step into knowing who is who or who's playing what role.
You are 100% correct.
And you hear words that you didn't know you didn't hear.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
So the antagonist of the show, her name is Agatha Harkness.
Come on, that name sounds familiar.
Let's go ahead and merge that together, and you have Agnes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that lady is the same lady that we continuously keep seeing. Because we see her in like the 1980s.
So, yep.
They have like the Full House thing going on. She's like the Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah, she's just sitting on
the counter or something.
Yeah.
So for those of us who don't know, who is Agatha Harkness?
Agatha Harkness is a known witch in the Marvel Universe. A disciple of Mephisto.
Okay.
I'm about to dive into that in a minute, okay?
She clearly knows that Vision is supposed to be dead.
Right.
Yes.
Which in itself already shows that her presence within the show is a lot bigger than maybe even Mrs. Hart or Arthur that they showed.
Here's the thing. She knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Vision. She knows everything. When they're at the table and they're getting antagonized by the guy,
Mm-hmm.
he's like,
So that's really her antagonizing him.
no. I believe that's Mephisto.
You think that's Mephisto?
I think that's Mephisto. Because it's two people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Mephisto is that one like trying to tap in. Because if you look at Wanda's face, her face changes. And she's like, almost like that Inception moment.
No, you're talking about at the
dinner table.
So you're thinking that this Arthur dude, because I thought
the
about
guy
that
that was
too.
fussing.
Yeah, because
Yes.
the fact that one, if you're talking about how many people are actually in the trailer itself, there's like 4 or 5 people, and we only see 5 by face, and not even we don't. And I'm not even considering the twins, but the Miss Hart and Arthur. Hart in itself, where we're talking the Harkness, that could even be like a play on that. She could be playing this kind of triple, this triple role here. Especially if she's someone who kind of supersedes this reality.
Here's the thing about this reality that's happening. This is all in a bubble.
Yeah.
It's Wanda's bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Which I thought was interesting because it shows the differences of time is based on different sitcoms from that era.
Yes.
Which I thought was great.
And you see her coming into her power and manipulating and you see time changing.
Yeah,
going forward.
It looked like, I don't know if it was like the 90s or the 2000s era when she's just sitting on the couch and literally just flipping her hands.
And she's
things are
morphing the TV, there's paintings
and
on
it
the
just
wall
kind of
and
shows like at this point like she understands this.
yes,
This is
and she's
control.
literally like morphing.
And like at a moment's notice. Yeah, which is
and that's
wow.
where you actually see her conjuring that chaos magic she's known for all these years. Because we haven't seen Wanda broke into her chaos magic yet.
Not at all.
The only time we see her tap into anything is when she's fighting Thanos.
I'm gonna stop you right there. You said break that chaos magic. Back to what I said about consent is in disobedience of law in response to
So
chaos.
you think there's
Chaos.
laws that are supposed to be followed?
I
She's
think
breaking
this
those laws.
this house of contempt is a major thing.
And the show ends rumored that Doctor Strange shows up at the end of her show. And this is how she gets pulled into Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. You see what I'm saying? But we haven't seen anything of Doctor Strange. But if we just first teaser, if we just watch what's happening here, okay? Because there's so much more, okay? Let's go down a little bit. So, we talked about House of M, okay? And that's where she literally has this psychotic break. And in the House of M story, for the ones who've never read this story, she has a psychotic break. This is, I think it happens at the end of Avengers Disassemble. She breaks down. She starts to will people out of existence. People is just exploding around her just because she wills it. Clint Barton is one of them. Hawkeye, he goes. The Avengers is called in. Black Panther is there. Moon Knight is there. Daredevil is there. Cap is there. Everybody. But this is when they had the big Avengers Disassemble story. Okay. Right after that, she manipulated a reality. Okay. And she put mutants. Mutants was like running the world or whatever. And her father was in charge.
Magneto.
Yeah. Okay. But then things started not going so well for her or whatever. She started getting frustrated. Everything started colliding or whatever. And then she uttered these 3 words. And the only people who was not affected by these 3 words, they were protected by a bubble that Doctor Strange put around them. And those were the mutants that was left. And the 3 words that she said was no more mutants. It's a famous 3 words that's known that she says. Now, I don't know if this show is going to be that way where it flips and it's in reverse.
I feel like it would have to be.
And she wills mutants into existence.
It's because and the reason I say I feel like it has to be because right now she is a thing of her own. The only miracle at the time of what they kind of called it was her and her brother. And with her brother being dead, for her to be out and about, to have these kind of fanatical powers that no one really understands, she's probably feeling that sense of I'm different and I need something, because the only person who saw her as a normal person was Vision, and now she lost that. So now to feel some sense of, I don't know, humanity, she might bring other beings like herself.
Yeah.
You don't think that Clint saw her as a normal person as well?
I think Clint may have. I think Cap, in a way.
The only reason why I say Clint is because of that scene
where by the lake at the end of the funeral.
No. In the Age of Ultron, where he's like, you need to.
You know what? Yeah, that's right. He's probably the first
here,
person to acknowledge her,
to embrace her just as she is.
Yeah.
You know?
And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like speak your truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think he's in a movie. I don't think they're gonna go the same way as the books went.
Right.
But yeah, that's amazing that you said that.
I feel like if they were, that would be pretty poetic though. For him to be the person who's trying to keep her sane, and then she kills him, and that was what snaps.
Yeah, it would. There's a lot of different. There's a lot of different angles they could go. That, they could do some really good stories.
Mm-hmm.
And in this universe, Wanda wills in 2 kids into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Her twin boys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now she loves her brother, and her brother are twins, and she manifests these kids of her and Vision into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for the readers out there who don't know, these boys. First of all, let's talk about Wanda a little bit. She was mocked as a baby. When her and what's her brother's name again? Pietro. When her and Pietro was born, she was mocked by Shaitan, which is an elder god. Okay, so her witchcraft, and I don't know if they're going that route in this. If they do, they open a lot of door for a lot more things. But we're getting ready to dive into the supernatural here. You see what I'm saying? But Shaitan was an elder god who imbued her with these powers. You know, all the manipulation of chaos magic. And I think we're going to see her break into that. I don't know if they're going to definitely go that route in the story, though. But she manifests these 2 kids into existence, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you see little hints of these kids in the show.
Yeah.
You saw the first time that the trailer came out, what did you see? You saw the pacifiers.
I saw the pacifiers.
Right? Okay.
And I think they always had that scene where the lady asked, who are you and why don't you have kids? But at the very first time they showed the teaser, they didn't show the kids.
They didn't show
But in this trailer, you see them, all giddy and whatnot, bouncing around with two children.
On the wall, later on in another scene, you see the letter B, and you said the letter T for Billy and Tommy. Those are her boys, right? Billy's Wiccan, Tommy's Speed. Now, when there's a scene that it looks like it's a Full House scene, Full House, the TV show. Okay, what was that? In the 80s that came out? Yeah. Right? And the kid that Vision's holding, his hand is giving off the same red imbued light that his mom hands give off. Wiccan, and here's the thing about Wiccan. Imagine Scarlet Witch power.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange had a kid. That's Wiccan.
Okay.
Powerful motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, again, I hope that they do it justice. And because we see the B and we see the T, we know that they're coming.
Yeah.
They've been setting up this Young Avengers thing for quite some time.
Which is glorious how they're doing it.
They took a mediocre movie like Ant-Man, which was the birth of Young Avengers, without knowing that's the route they're going. And if you pay attention to the pattern, you see it. Because they did the very same thing with Avengers, but they just did it on a different scale.
Yep.
And again,
they brought some little sideline characters. They made you like those characters, and then slowly but surely they're just going to roll them out in the way that. And
what are Marvel known for doing? Hashtag
long game.
You see what I'm saying? So they've been doing this, and they're setting this up. Okay, Ant-Man 3, Kang the Conqueror is coming. Iron Lad, him and Vision actually have an interesting story because when Iron Lad shows up, he shows up from information from the future, knowing Kang is coming, and he goes back to find the Avengers to tell them Kang is coming, and the Avengers is not together anymore. So now he puts together a team, but before he does that, he finds Vision's body, and he takes Vision and he puts Vision into his suit as an AI like Tony had Jarvis. And then they went ahead and assembled these team of kids. And then these kids have to run in with Captain America when him and Eli Bradley is like going back and forth. And Eli Bradley's like, "You're not the first Captain America." My granddaddy's the first Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And Cap is like, what? He's like, Isaiah Bradley. And it's like, what? And then they did the whole red, white, and black story that a lot of people don't know. And we already known that Isaiah Bradley is going to be in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do it justice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's going to be amazing.
It's
going to be amazing.
The setup is in line for good things. It's almost like what's his name? Rose said. At this point, they just gotta not F it up.
Yeah. We saw, this was a campy moment in the trailer. We saw Halloween happening, and they had on costumes of their comic book versions.
Vision dressed as Vision.
Vision dressed as Vision. Old school Vision. Loved it. You see what I'm saying? Scarlet Witch dressed as old school Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Agatha Harkness dressed as a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when Vision floats down.
Yeah.
And if you notice how he floats over the city and nothing is moving.
At all.
He floats down to the car, he touches her, and she's like, "Are you dead?" And he's like, "Why would you say that?" She said, "'Cause you are." She does like the witch laugh or whatever.
Right.
I think that they are in a hell dimension.
It's possible for her to be able to, just even the fact that she knows that he's dead, like, I think she is in more control of this realm than
Vision
Wanda
body is there though. So if she didn't will Vision's body back, because again, everything is happening, and for some way, somehow, Vision's there.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So either they got the body from Wakanda, or Sword had the body, and for some reason she got the body back. I don't know, but we see Sword in the trailer. The Agents of Sword. We see.
That. Oh, you know what?
We did see him on the field.
With Monica Rambeau.
When Monica went through and that's another one.
Yeah, I was about
Monica's
to say that. Do you think she was pulled, pushed, or punched? And the reason I say punched is because I know that America Chavez is supposed to be coming, and she can punch someone through a dimension.
She can, but here's the thing: Monica Rambeau is grown up.
Right.
Monica Rambeau already existed when Maria Rambeau had her back in Captain Marvel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? In this one, she's older, very attractive actress that's playing her.
Mm-hmm.
We see her drag, and the red light is around her.
It looks similar to
it's
Wanda's.
like she got ripped through
Okay.
the
So
TV
pulled.
screen. So it looks like somebody pulled her. And I believe that Scarlet Witch pulling her through from wherever she is into her reality. But if you look closely, there's a scene where Monica's laying on the ground and she opens her eyes and she's looking. But then if you look at the guys that are standing on the field, one of the people standing there is Darcy from the Thor franchise. But one of them is also Monica.
So her mom.
Not Maria, Monica.
Wait.
So the question is, who gets pulled through? Is that the actual Monica, or is that Mephisto?
I'm about to watch it, so I need a 6th time. 5 was not enough.
See where that 20 shows up.
Yeah,
Baby.
See what I'm saying? So you literally now is like, whoa, what's happening here? Why is Monica there if Monica just came through and laying on the ground? I'm saying them 20 times paid off. Pew, 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 taking my shots. Right? Alright, so, we know that Sword is there. Agents of Sword now is a thing. Okay? We go back to Spider-Man at the end of Spider-Man where we see where Nick Fury is, where is he?
And Sword stands for what again?
Okay, I'm about to go into that, but he's in space.
He's in the Sword, yeah.
Okay. What he's the facility he's in is called the Peak.
Okay.
Okay?
Is this a satellite above Earth?
Huh?
Is this a satellite above Earth?
It's not a satellite.
Well, I mean like a space station.
It's like a space station. It's like, imagine the Triskelion was a SHIELD headquarters. Imagine a Triskelion times 1,000.
This is like their version of the Watchtower?
Yes.
Gotcha.
But you have SHIELD. Now this is Sword. Sword and SHIELD.
Right.
Okay. SWORD stands for Sentient World Observation Response Department. And anybody it's crazy. It's crazy.
I love their names. I love them.
Right? And it actually is, you remember in Justice League they had the Watchtower.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Right.
Okay? And anybody who's coming through who's a threat to Earth or anything around Earth in our atmosphere and in our galaxy or whatever, they are the response team.
So this is the version that Tony was trying to accomplish.
Yes.
This is the suit of armor around the world.
Yes. Here's the thing though. What if he did accomplish it? What if we see Sword headquarters because after Age of Ultron, Tony put this contingency plan into play?
I can see it.
Yeah.
To where the Nick Fury that we see isn't the Nick Fury. Nick Fury's on Sword.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense.
I mean, Nick has to do something.
And it would show up for even the 5 years that weren't really shown in Endgame.
You see what I'm saying?
Like, we know Tony was not doing
Yeah, they could have been billing all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
You
if
see
he's
what
just
I'm saying?
feeding information, that's something.
So when you hear Sword, what do you think?
I think there's a lot more galactic villains that are going to appear.
They are. But let me tell you the first thing that came across my mind when I heard Sword. Abigail Brand.
You got to fill me in on that one.
Abigail Brand is a chick who was like Nick's right hand. Or she was like Maria Hill of Sword.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay? Nobody didn't know until later on she actually had powers. She actually was a mutant.
Oh, okay.
Also, Hank Pym. Not Hank Pym, I'm sorry. Hank McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He worked
Beast.
with, he was with Sword.
Beast was with Sword. So all these things started coming back to me when I'm thinking Sword. Now I'm thinking, okay, we already know that Monica Rambeau is working for Sword.
Right.
Nick Fury's on Sword.
I feel like we might get a Spider-Woman eventually.
Darcy, I'm going there. Darcy is on Sword, right? And they putting all these people. I believe Abigail Brand, we're going to see her.
Mhm.
Do we not see Captain Marvel as Sword?
She is an agent of Sword. I believe we don't see that though until Captain Marvel 2.
Okay.
Okay?
What if... No, never mind. Because they said... One, I was thinking about, what if they made an allusion to that when Captain Marvel said, you guys aren't the only planet that have these problems? Could that be a Sword?
That could have been a thing.
She could have been representing Sword the whole
Exactly.
time.
The whole time.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Because remember, she left off at the end of her movie to go deal with the Skrulls.
And she's been gone for a while.
So what if she left and went and deal with Sword and was running around doing things for Sword?
Right.
Nobody would know. But it would make sense because it would tie a whole lot of things
Exactly.
together. Again, long game that they play. I also think about Henry Gyrick. Okay? Henry Gyrick was Avengers Archimides.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that was nagging Abigail Brand all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was a liaison to the government. I believe we see Henry Gyrick. Sidran. Sidran was the creature. He was the computer hacker. He actually became like Abigail Brand, Cisco for the Flash.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, he was like really good with computers. He could break into anything, dissect anything.
So,
computer related.
I mean, so with all of this like slow rollout of Sword, are we gonna see like a similar version of how they did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Are we gonna see Agents of Sword?
I don't know. I believe so, but I don't believe they're going to be in a show. We do know that Nick Fury has a show coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's true. Which
You
I mean,
see what I'm
Which could be.
if I
Sword.
say if they just make it all about Sword, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But if Nick Fury's going to be in it, it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic.
Like him actually getting the show, like applause to that. Like
Finally, I believe we're going to see Jessica Drew. Here's why. One, she was an agent of Sword.
mm-hmm.
Two, Olivia Munn just made that statement a month or two ago.
Well, do we even know who she is?
Jessica Drew, I'm sorry.
Spider.
Jessica Drew is Spider-Woman.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
codename comment at me like was right.
Right. I know who Spider-Woman is.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, I didn't know her last name, but I knew her name was Jessica.
Yeah,
All right.
Jessica Drew. Okay.
Yeah.
Who was also an agent of Sword.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we're gonna see it. The statement that Olivia Munn made about working on a character from the Spider-Verse,
Mm-hmm.
a female character. Everybody was like, "Oh man, that's Spider-Gwen." No.
Nah, that's
If you do something Marvel that has to do with a spider and a woman, it's gonna be Jessica Drew.
Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
You
You
can't
see what I'm
start
saying?
with Spider-Gwen.
You
'cause
can't.
that's such a
You can't be arachnid,
nah.
tarantula. It can't be none of them.
Right.
Spider-Woman is gonna be Jessica Drew.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we see her, and I think they're gonna be tapping into like a whole different thing with this. All because of, again, this is a show though. This is not a movie. So there's
Right.
time to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful though. I was talking about Young Avengers earlier though, right?
Mhm.
Don't miss this. Who else worked on Sword? He was a Young Avenger.
Wait.
Hulk?
Hulkling. Yeah.
Hulkling.
I was gonna say Hulk too, but I said,
Hey,
you know what, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill.
Yeah, and he
let's
was-
Let's show this up.
And the crazy thing was he was half
3%
Kree,
over there.
He was
My bad.
half Kree, half Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a shapeshifter, and he
Right.
morphed into this little kid Hulk.
Yeah.
Was running around on the team of Young Avengers. So I believe that he's going to be working with Monica, and he get roped into all of this.
Oh yeah, that makes
You
sense.
see what I'm saying? They laying the
Smart.
bricks. They laying the bricks
In the perfect way.
in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing seems forced. Everyone goes like where they kind of need to for the moment. No one's gonna get should be
Well,
outshadowed
you're
in any
telling
way.
this huge story,
Right.
and you're building as you go along. You've got all these people that are giving input to the creation of this
Mhm.
storyline. So I would imagine the more people you have on this team,
The more we can
the
expand.
deeper the story
Yeah.
goes.
You mentioned America Chavez, and we know for a fact that we actually, I don't know if you saw it. You saw the leak video of the interview?
No, I have not.
Did you see the leak interview with the little girl?
I know it exists.
No.
Yeah, there was a little girl who auditioned for America Chavez, and we know that they've been doing auditions, and this girl was auditioning for it, and that's what got leaked. And she's literally talking about her power.
Mhm.
And somebody's reading for whoever it's supposed to be, and I think they're reading for Doctor Strange. So, and again, she was confirmed to appear in Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
And it's funny that you said that, because if we talk in dimensions, her power is kicking into other dimensions or breaking into other dimensions.
And that's why I feel like Monica could have got punched. Like if it's an older Monica, what if she's
But let me
doing
ask you a
work
question:
for
why
Sword?
is Wanda chaos magic imbued around her when she gets pulled through? America Chavez don't have the same power that Wanda does.
You're right. Maybe she. Yeah, I can't make sense of that. All right, you got me on that one. Give me a second. I'll make sense of it. I'll find a
You
reason
gonna
why.
make sense?
I'm gonna make sense of it. I've been right with a lot of these things before.
You have. You
See?
have.
See? Yeah, see?
You know, it's the reason why you are here today. Because Keitanooo would have been so lost, he'd have probably done reel me back maybe 20 times. You know what I mean?
It's necessary though.
Yeah.
Balance.
Yeah, balance is good. But I think it's gonna be crazy what we're gonna see with Vision. Here's the thing though: do we get to see Ghost Vision, the Vision that's in the comic books in the white?
I don't think Vision is going to come back as an alive Vision. I think the introduction of Wanda Vision and seeing him as whatever form he is right now.
There is a part where his face phases out.
See, I feel like I don't see. Like I feel like we'd have to get Ghost Vision. Like it's almost like it would cheapen the story, especially considering you already have this within like the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel the same way about this as about a Tony coming back.
Does the woman in the car say you're supposed to be dead, or she says you are dead?
She says
Says
you
you
are
are.
dead. Oh, she said because he asked her
Because he asked, why would you say that?
because she asked, "Am I dead?" And she was like, "Well, why would you say that? Because you are."
Right.
He's wielding Infinity Stone. We know that Infinity Stone was what killed him initially.
Well, I'm just saying that it sounds like the Ghost Vision is probably more probable,
That this is what we're dealing with now,
Yeah.
and maybe she went to go
and
be
she's
with
not,
that.
and he's not really there.
Mm-hmm. Because it goes back to what I said about that
Hell mouth though.
a disregard, a contempt. Definition number 2: a disregard for something that should be taken into account. And we know that Vision's death should definitely be taken into account, but it's clearly being disregarded throughout the show.
Mm.
So why is the question?
How far do we see her spiral?
I think we're gonna see, like you said, I think she's going to turn into the Scarlet Witch, and I think the Scarlet Witch we're gonna see is we only saw a glimpse of that when she was kicking the dog ass out of Thanos.
Yeah.
Which I watched that the other day. he rained fire because he was about to die.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Like,
Yeah.
you don't rain fire unless you're about to die, and she didn't even do much. Yet.
This is why I said that this thing could have been over a long time ago.
Here's the thing.
Okoye said it best. Why is she up there?
Why she up there? She up there this whole time.
Chilling.
Listen, we haven't really seen Wanda break or cut loose yet.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because
You
right
know what
now
I'm saying?
she's still dealing with so much. She's dealing with
And
this
she
feeling
haven't.
of loss.
And here's the thing. I don't think.
She was pulling him apart by his muscles,
Yeah, she was.
physically ripping him apart.
Yo,
Here's the crazy thing though.
if Marvel was rated R,
I said this. I said this a while back. That would
have happened.
yeah,
At least a little bit.
I don't even know how to word it. Runaway locomotive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Wanda. I think, and again, she's not the Scarlet Witch yet.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
She becomes the Scarlet Witch in this.
And I feel like a lot of the reason she's not the Scarlet Witch is because she's still clinging to that sense of humanity that was kind of thrust upon her when she
See,
was
I
sick.
don't think so.
I think so.
I believe she don't even realize she's a witch. What did Maria Hill say to Cap when they came across him in Age of Ultron? She said, he's fast and she is weird.
And they couldn't even describe what she was.
Because remember, she started saying all these scientific words, and Cap looked at her like, what does that mean? Speak English.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, he's fast, she's weird. Right?
Right.
I don't think she knows that she's a witch yet.
All right. So in the Marvel universe, one could think that being a witch is just learning about casting some spells.
Mm-hmm.
But is that correct, or is there something in the blood? Is it a mutation? Like, what categorizes witches, warlocks, etc.?
I feel like in the Marvel universe, it's always a little bit more on the fantasy level. But I think it's what you compare the witches of Marvel universe. You get your enchantresses. The one that we've seen thus far, we get, probably the closest thing we've seen to a witch is Hela. And just to think about Hela and the stuff that she was doing in Ragnarok is...
But is it just that you wield magic and that's what makes you a witch?
I think it's wielding a certain magic that will probably be tied to darkness.
I don't think we've seen witchcraft yet. We've seen sorcery. We haven't seen witchcraft. Here's the thing.
Now I got a headache.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, you
Here's
lost
the
me. I was
thing.
like,
This is why, and I think we're about to see that. This is why.
Okay.
We've seen sorcery with Doctor Strange.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay. Take a step for a minute. Remove Doctor Strange from the equation. What have we seen supernatural like that?
The Asgardians.
No, outside of the ancient one.
We haven't really seen sorcery other than with Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why is her name not Scarlet Witch yet? Why is her name Wanda?
Because that's who she is.
Right. She have not embraced the witch
Right.
in her. I believe Agatha Harkness teaches her, manipulates her, handles her, just like in the comics, into becoming the witch.
Mm-hmm.
And she wears red, and henceforth she is now known as the Scarlet Witch.
So you feel like throughout this show, we're gonna see a lot of Agatha, or Agnes in this case, is influence on Wanda as a person. And
Yes.
Slowly see her
Yes,
decline.
hands down.
But if that be the case, then why would it then lead to? Or you know what? We know that Wanda's in the movie, but we don't know, or as far as
We don't know why.
So you're right. She could even be the villain.
She can.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I said that to my man, shout out Lee Willis. I said that a while back when I was talking to Lee Willis. I was like, yo, do you think there's a possibility that she's the villain? He's like, yeah, no, I don't think they will go that way. Maybe not. But what if she's a catalyst? What if she is that bridge between Doctor Strange and Mephisto? Mephisto is one of the big bads of Doctor Strange.
I don't think being a bad guy is accurate. Maybe a person with issues. Similar to Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people saw her, well, I mean, the viewers didn't, but characters saw her as a nuisance, a drunk, and all these different things. Definitely not superhero.
Yeah. I can see that, and especially just after everything she's gone through at this point,
Trauma.
and there's no one to pick up that trauma.
Yeah.
So her just trying to fix it herself can only kind of lead to bad things.
A lot
with
of
her
people get to go and have their happily ever after.
Exactly.
After, bringing people back.
She
Wanda doesn't get that.
She doesn't.
She doesn't have it. She lost her brother. She went to fighting. And
Right.
you saw how, even then, it was still something that was weighing on her. Then at the beginning of Civil War, she literally kills people.
Two people lost that they'll never get back. Clint lost Natasha.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda lost Vision.
Right. But the difference between Clint and Wanda, Clint has a family.
Yes.
Wanda has nothing else to go
Wanda
back
has nothing and no one.
Nope.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Which would make her crave the family more.
If you think about it, everything that Wanda had, because she was on the same team with Cap, who's old, not working anymore, with Black Widow.
Tony dead. Black Widow dead.
Black Widow
Clint
dead.
retired.
Clint retired. Like, she has nothing else.
Yeah.
And no one who even understood her to just take her back in or take her under her wing or, like, accept her.
She was at the Avengers Mansion.
Exactly. Which is destroyed 3 times over.
Is it possible that after WandaVision completes for a season, that it ties into X-Men?
No, I think
hope so.
WandaVision ties into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse.
No, I know that's what you think.
I think yes. I think WandaVision leads into the multiverse of madness, and somehow in that movie, all of this gets pushed together, which brings X-Men.
Because you gotta bring X-Men somehow.
Somehow.
X-Men comes because of the multiverse of madness. The mutants exist.
She creates it.
The mutants exist. And Wanda just might be what it takes to go over the edge, do something weird. America Chavez comes, kicks a hole in the multiverse. X-Men, boom, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. I mean, because at this point, you're already starting to cast for her. I don't know how well the New Mutants movie did, but if you were to even pick up from there,
yeah, can we not talk about that?
That's
blasphemy, man.
I liked it. I thought there was, to me, it was incomplete. That was my issue with the movie. There
were certain parts of it that was visually stimulating. The story and the direction
that bad
was vomit in my mouth.
It was cheap. Very cheap.
It was vomit in my mouth. And no disrespect to people who ever made that movie, I would never, ever, ever tell anyone to go and watch that movie.
It was cheap.
That bad.
It was cheaper than the money I paid for it.
I was hoping I would get a chance to see it and enjoy it. But
listen, like,
I think you might. Like, to me, it's a different style of superhero movie because it's a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, if it's going to be a horror film, then there's about an hour or more movie that they could have put in it to make it a lot more either darker or at least allude to more of what you're trying to
I wanted to see magic be magic. I wanted to see Sunspot. Yes.
Sunspot was Sunspot.
What is it? What is the something Bane?
Oh, Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane.
She was
so. She was so.
And I feel like the reason she was so is because of that love story that they felt they needed to put in there. Because I feel like that watered down her character so much.
It was forced.
It was. It did not need to happen.
Checking the box.
Yeah, and it literally that was her role in the whole movie.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned this because my neighbor and I were watching The Old Guard again.
Okay.
And
movie, yo.
And we're watching, like, it's still the beginning. You know, they had that homosexual couple, and he and I just got to talk. I said that was the right way to do it because it moved with the storyline. It flowed with there, and like when he talks about the way he loves this guy,
yes.
I'm like,
it seems real.
I don't even know if I love my wife
like that, because that's some like eternal love.
Yeah,
you know, when you love somebody for generations, centuries,
yeah. So it checks a box, but it didn't have to because it was so well done.
It was rich.
Yeah.
It was rich. It was well written.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think we're gonna see a number of people in the show, and I think it's gonna kick butt.
Yeah.
On a lot of levels, but I really think we're gonna see Wanda cut up. You know,
I feel like this is gonna be the end of Wanda as a hero.
you think?
I feel like with everything that's just going in the trajectory of her life, I don't see a reason why she would feel the need to save people.
Some
anymore.
characters fall and then rise up. Because if you think about it, Banner was avoiding living in third world countries,
Yeah.
taking the lowest of the low type of lifestyle.
You know what I mean?
To stay off the grid, and then he eventually becomes the one who brings everyone back.
Right. Which in itself, that just shows it's like they can show you the transformation of a character.
Yeah.
We even think about the
Thor.
rises and falls of Thor.
Yeah.
Thor has gone through it all.
Yeah.
But
He literally lost everything.
it literally lost everything.
Yeah.
That would be another person who would understand.
Yeah.
But other than that,
So I don't see her as a villain, but I
see her. I can see her anti-hero.
You see her as a tormented soul.
Yeah.
Be careful though, because tormented souls can produce Killmongers
Yep.
or Thanoses because their cause is righteous.
Yeah.
Who's the one in Doctor Strange?
Caecilius.
Mordo.
Mordo.
Oh,
And
Mordo,
everything that's going on with him. Like,
Yeah.
we've seen.
And when is
this
that gonna come back?
Well,
I-
he's in part 2.
He's
in part 2.
Off in focus.
And he's still coming back with a
I'm
vengeance
so
too,
ready.
because he's
Right.
remember his whole mission is I got to take care or take out all the sorcerers of the world.
Right.
Mm.
He ends up becoming a disciple of Dormammu though, so I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know if they're gonna go that route.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, or they go another route. Maybe he ends up becoming a disciple of Mephisto.
I was gonna say I see him.
Mephisto
I
is
can see
coming,
that.
no matter how you look at it.
He's
For
got-
those of you who don't know who Mephisto is, he is Satan, Marvel's devil. He is the devil. I told you about that one story with Daredevil and Doctor
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
First, that was actually my first encounter with Mephisto, and he's been around, but I didn't really know just like how horrific and deceptive. Because Mephisto had been known to do some things in the comics,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking gutter wrenching, like it's ridiculous. But he is amazing at what he does. He's the devil. I don't even think Lucifer on Netflix holds a candle to Mephisto.
I would hope not.
I could hang out with Lucifer all day. Mephisto, no, bro. That one where him and Doctor Strange, they gamble for the souls. You know that story?
No.
And Doctor Strange loses to him. He manipulates and causes Doctor Strange to lose. So then he takes Doctor Strange soul, and he takes the soul of Black Panther and a bunch of other superheroes, and he turns them into Ghost Riders.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And while you're on that topic, that's another reason why I feel like this Mephisto, whoever he or she may be, is going to be the darkest version of Mephisto we might ever see. Because you have to wash out the
No,
taste
he can't
of the other
be.
Mephisto.
Here's why he can't be. You said it when we were talking earlier. I think we were talking about She-Hulk, Disney. Because it's Disney, we cannot get the straight, raw,
You're right.
gutter version of
Yeah,
Mephisto.
the darkest things you've seen that have Marvel related were Netflix films
Yeah,
or shows.
Yeah, we're not getting that back in that
Yeah.
capacity.
We're not gonna get that.
Damn.
But they
What a
are
waste.
gonna be doing some rated R stuff. Kevin Feige says Deadpool is coming. You can't have Deadpool without rated R.
You can't.
But here's the thing though. If we do get Mephisto, and we're gonna I wholeheartedly believe we're gonna see Mephisto. How dark do they go?
It has to be. If you have Morbius, and from what Morbius looks like, also a Marvel-related
But
product.
Morbius is not Disney. Morbius is Sony.
Yeah, I was
He's
pissed
just
about that.
in a Marvel production
Yeah, that's true.
because he's a Marvel
So
character.
they just
You
kinda,
see what I'm saying?
they got different
Sony's
little
playing on a whole
responsibilities.
different level. They could rate it all day.
Yeah.
Which is smart. That's why they got Venom. And don't need to
You
give it
see
up.
what I'm saying?
And did a decent job with Venom.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for what they do with Carnage.
Marvel just needs to branch off with another studio to give you some of the
Rated R.
growth.
We're gonna listen, man. All jokes aside,
Do
we're
it
gonna
behind
see
another
rated R
name
stuff.
or something.
Exactly. They have to. At some
Just
point.
and here's why they're gonna put a parental thing on the
Mhm.
Disney Plus
Okay.
for kids
They already
because
have
we know Blade is coming.
Yeah.
This is a vampire hunter who kills vampires.
If you're having a Blade
And we
PG-13, get out of here.
We know that the way how things are setting up, the Midnight Suns are coming. You cannot have a Midnight Suns that's rated PG.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight Suns is going to be rated R or rated MA. Real talk. You talking Moon Knight. And we know Moon Knight is coming to Disney Plus, so I don't know how they're gonna wheel that in, because Moon Knight
they got time though, so they can still.
Bro, Moon Knight got more profane language than Jessica Jones in Alias.
Oh, I believe.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know how they're gonna do that, and I don't want them to water down Moon Knight. I want to see the Moon Knight like we saw Punisher in Netflix.
Great.
That was some vicious.
Yeah.
Gotta kill it. That's Frank Castle. That's why we were talking about it a while back. It was like, who would you? I was like, nobody can do Frank Castle but that guy.
When I watched, there's a scene where he's in prison, he's being jumped, and he gets a hold of a knife and he's stabbing. And he's doing it over and over and over again. And I'm watching it with my wife, and she's like, ooh. Ooh, ooh,
right.
Ooh,
the only response you could get.
Yeah. So,
Dark Disney, man. Let's go. Dark Disney.
There you go.
So if we're gonna do, if we're gonna do it, we gotta do it right. And I don't think Disney's gonna put their hand on it and not do it right. I think when we see Midnight Suns, when we see Blade, when we see Deadpool, when we see everything that's coming down the pipeline, these are gonna be dark characters. I believe that they're gonna be rated R.
They have to be.
They have to. If you're gonna do them right, they have to be.
Didn't that thing with that Spider-Man, that dark scene, that little flashback scene that they had?
Yeah, but that wasn't.
But I feel like that's them starting to introduce the idea of starting to go darker.
Yeah.
Trying to make people see it just for a little by little. Hey, we doing this.
Well, originally, they were saying that Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to be trippy like that.
Yeah.
Because Nightmare is actually still rumored to be one of the villains that Doctor Strange got to go up against. And I don't know if y'all know Nightmare, but
I know Nightmare.
Nightmare is something serious. You see what I'm saying? And I believe we get to see more of that. I believe a lot of dark characters are coming down the pipeline.
Who would you get to play Nightmare? Or have they already chosen?
No, they haven't chosen, at least not to my knowledge.
So who would you get to play Nightmare?
What's the dude name who plays Freddy Krueger? Robert Englund? He's dead.
I'm just about to say, isn't he dead?
Christopher
R.I.P.
Maybe Christopher Walken. I don't think Christopher Walken is that scary. Not saying he can't pull it off.
Christopher Walken is one of the scariest.
It's one of the scariest dudes.
Man,
it's all in the roles he plays. It's all about the roles he plays.
One of the scariest
he can absolutely.
I amuse you like a joke.
Huh?
Yeah.
I amuse you like a joke. I'm funny to you.
No, but I think
Right.
I think it gotta be like somebody menacing, like unlike straight. For instance, right? You know the girl who was on. She got married to Bobby Boucher.
I don't know her name.
But she was on the movie Witchcraft.
She's played a lot of
The Craft.
The Craft. Was the one.
She's a scary chick.
Yeah.
I don't think Christopher Walken is that scary. You talking
the dark-haired chick from The Craft?
Yeah.
Nev Campbell?
No.
Oh, sorry.
She was like the second nicest one out of all of them. Her and the girl who was like the star.
I hear you.
You gotta be that gotta be scary,
order.
Man.
What about the dude?
Give me Giancarlo. Put him in a role in Marvel.
Who?
Was it Giancarlo? If you've seen the boys,
Yes, black dude. Giancarlo Esposito.
That's his last name.
But I don't think he would be Nightmare because there's something floating that he's gonna be Victor Von Doom.
Okay, I can see that.
And I believe he give me a better Victor Von Doom than a Nightmare.
Dang, he would. All right.
I believe
they can hold on to that.
I believe if this is true, because Marvel haven't made an announcement yet. If he is Victor Von Doom, he slays.
What about the guy that played the Joker in
Joaquin Phoenix?
No, the other one.
Jack Nicholson?
No,
you're talking about
the one
in Gotham, right?
Oh, you're talking about... No, he's talking about the dude who is Morbius.
It's Suicide Squad.
Morbius.
Leto. Jared Leto?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Jared Leto and Morbius.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
So, again though, man, I don't know, man. I'm not saying it can't happen, because if you're a good actor and you have range, then I think
Jim Carrey do it?
I'd love to see Jim Carrey in a villain role again. It had to be the right one, but I
It have
see
to.
it.
I definitely think there's roles out there for Jim Carrey.
There's so many roles out there for Jim
I
Carrey.
personally would have loved to see Jim Carrey as, what's his name? Ragnarok, dude. The Collector's brother.
Oh,
Grandmaster. I would have loved to see Jim Carrey as Grandmaster.
I thought Jeff Goldblum did well.
He did well, but I would have personally liked to see.
The reason I prefer Jeff Goldblum in that role is because if I'm seeing Jim Carrey, I want to see Jim Carrey develop a role as a villain. Jeff Goldblum is a good in and out.
Yeah,
that's all I needed.
That's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
All I needed out of that role.
Again,
that's a very.
But
fair
there
point.
is a lot of roles that he can play.
It's got to be one of the big ones, though.
You know. But, man, we got to bring it to a close tonight, guys. This was a great episode. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, anytime.
The witch is
Thanks for
coming.
having me.
And may we keep an eye out over our shoulders because she about to do some things. Anyway, this is your boy, Tchallabpp74, and my man,
Keitanooo.
also in house,
Your boy Codename Comment.
and our cameraman.
Your boy Rebel.
Thank you guys for listening. Good night. We out.
A.P.A.C.